Hey there yogis, Tina here. I've got an awesome intermediate class planned for you today where we will work towards bound half moon. No, not the traditional bound half moon where you can keep one hand on the mat, although you can definitely do that. I'm going to give you the opportunity to find complete balance in a different variation of bound half moon. If you've got a block, it's likely going to help you bring the floor a little closer to you, but if you don't have a block or a low stool, no worries, you can still definitely take class. So I'm really happy to give this class to you today. We'll get a nice little workout and a great stretch. So let's hop to it. I'll see you on your mat. So from the top of the mat, bring the toe mounds towards touch, a little opening at the heels. Hands are at heart center. We're just going to stand as tall as you possibly can. Crown of the head up towards the ceiling, rooting your feet down into the earth. Find some slower, deeper, steadier breaths. And the next breath you take, inhale, hold the air at the top. So you've got one of the biggest breaths you've taken today. And then on your exhale, sigh it out. And then just come to a nice, even, steady breath. Pull up on your kneecaps so you feel your thighs engage. And then let's drop your chin towards your chest. Open the eyes and gaze at your fingertips, your first drishti point of class. And then with your next inhale, let the arms drop down by the sides and then sweep them overhead, lift the gaze, and exhale, hands to heart center again. Inhale, big reach, so draw as big of a circle as you can, and exhale, hands to heart. One more. Breath in, breath out. Now we're going to separate the feet pretty wide, like towards the edges of the mat, and let the toes angle towards the sides. Heels are kicked in a bit. Breath in to sweep the arms up. And this time on the exhale, we're going to sink those hips so as low as you can go. It's an early malasana. Breath in, right back up, straighten those legs. And exhale, sink those hips down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to sink. Inhale. And exhale. So take a pause in your malasana. You might be more in a catcher's stance if it feels too deep for the hips. We're going to find a twist here. So the left hand drops down and the right arm is going to take a big sweep open behind you. You can also wrap that arm around the low back and just guide right shoulder open. Then we'll come back to center, hands at heart center. Big press up to standing, inhale, sweep. And exhale, lower. Well, let's do two more of those. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Let's once more take it into your Malasana Yoga squat, twisting the other direction. So right hand down, left arm up, open behind you. You can keep that palm spun up or wrap it around the small of your back. Just open and guide that left shoulder behind you. Then release forward. Let's take one more big sweep up And then just hands to heart center. Heel toe, those feet in towards touch again, and shake out those legs. Nice, strong thighs. Breath in, takes you all the way up. Exhale, let's take a forward fold. Step back to find your first high plank pose and pause. Press the mat away from you, look down at the top of the mat, and then find your first low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. So this being your first downward facing dog, you can pedal into the feet and sway the hips around. Find some movement for the head. And then let's float that right leg into the air. Step that right foot forward, but drop that left knee down. So a quick low lunge. Let's sweep those arms up, bend 90 degrees, and then take a dive up and back. Really broad through the chest, opening your heart. And then hands come back down. Tuck the left toes under to pick up that knee, and right foot steps back, plank pose. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, up face. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lower those knees down to the mat, set up for your tabletop. Shoulders over wrists and hips directly over the knees. Let's extend right leg into the air so you've got three-legged tabletop, and just let those right toes face down. Left hand is going to reach all the way out in front of you, and then a breath in to lift the ends, and then an exhale to try to tap elbow towards knee, tuck the chin. Inhale, press and open, and exhale, curl in. Once more, inhale, and exhale. Inhale long again. Let's drop that left hand down, kick the left shin out for balance, and now stack that right hip over the left one. So you can see that right foot, it hasn't swept all the way behind you. Now let's unload right arm up to the ceiling. Give a circling out of that wrist. Now you can work towards a bind here if you'd like. So you bend into that right knee, and then the right hand may come around and just scoop underneath that heel or the ankle and press your hips out in front of you. So nice and broad through the front body again. Release a bind if you've got it. Right hand back down, right toes back, left toes meet them. Let's go straight to downward facing dog. Float that left leg in the air, and then step left foot forward. Drop that right knee down so you come into your low lunge. Sweep the arms up, and then find that 90-degree bend. Keep lunging into the hips, but sweep those arms up and back. So lift your chest, sink those hips. And come back to center. Hands framing that front foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift that knee, and take your step back plank. Exhaling to your low plank. Inhaling upward face, and exhaling downward facing dog to breathe. Find your tabletop, knees to the mat, and we'll set up those crunches on the other side. Left leg kicks back, zip up your core, and right arm extends out. Breath in to lift the ends, and an exhale to crunch. Inhale, press up. Exhale to crunch. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Inhale long, drop right hand down and kick that right shin wider. Stack left hip on top of right, so you've got a grounded half moon by extending left arm up to the ceiling. Circle that wrist out. And now going into the bind. So you'd bend into that knee. Notice how my knee didn't face up or down. It's still nice and even. And then that left hand just tries to cup the heel. Press the hips forward, opening for that left arm, shoulder, chest. And then release. So left hand down, left foot down. Right foot meets it, high plank, and we'll straight to downward facing dog. Take a slight step forward, so you're shortening up your down dog, and try to bring the heels together towards touch at the back of the mat. The heels might be lifted, that's fine, but see if the heels can touch each other. Let's float that left leg into the air. So you've got your variation of a three-legged dog. See if those left toes can face downward. So you're getting a nice stretch for the outer right leg. Then bend that left knee, press the foot a little higher, maybe a deeper stretch for that right leg. And then look forward and step left foot just inside that left thumb. Let's keep that right heel grounded in that half V shape and come up to your warrior one. So the job of this right hip in warrior one is to press forward. Take a moment to see if you can self-adjust that. Arms then up overhead. Let's take a high twist towards the left. So this left arm is going to reach all the way back. It may even come down to that right leg, and then keep reaching that right arm up and back. And then back to center, warrior one. Let's interlace those hands up overhead and press the palms to the ceiling. Take a breath in here, and on the exhale, take a side lean over towards the left. So keep pressing right hip forward, keep lunging into left knee. Back to center. Now the interlace of the hands will fall to the low back. One breath to lift the heart up. And on the exhale, take a lean out, coming towards a humble warrior. So you're working the crown of the head straight out in front of you, or over time, dipping it inside that left knee. And then leg strength takes you right back up. Release those arms up overhead. Come to a quick warrior two, and then straighten that left knee. Flip your front palm, reach that arm up. Right hand is light on that back leg. Reverse your triangle. Lots of length for left side. And then come back to two straight arms. Basket the hands behind your head. Press the head into your basket. Take a little bit of a turn towards the back of the mat so that you're really facing the torso off the right side of the mat. And then lean that left elbow down over left leg, variation of triangle pose. Inhale takes you right back up. Extend those arms long, rebend into your front knee, left elbow down, right arm up and over, side angle pose. So you want both hips pressing towards the right side of the mat, and try to scoop your torso towards the ceiling. Inhale to come right back up to your warrior two. And on the exhale, bring hands to hips. Straighten this front leg, and the right foot is going to step in about a half step, and then face those toes towards the right corner of the mat. Left foot might even heel toe a little wider. So you're now facing the whole body towards the front of the mat. Let the arms go wide and then take a hold of elbows behind you. Breath in to lift. Breath out to take a lean out over left leg. Gaze is down by the big toe. Then we'll add a twist here to revolve your triangle. So let's bring that right hand all the way down to the mat, left hand to left hip, and take a turn towards the left. Now this is usually plenty for most bodies, but if it works in your shoulder, you might extend that left arm straight up. And then let's look down. Soften that left knee, both hands down to the mat. Take your step back, high plank pose. Exhale, low plank. Upward face, and downward facing dog. Let's stay on that left side. Float left leg in the air. This time you might turn and open the hip up for a couple beats. And then swing that foot forward. Dropping that right knee down, returning to your low lunge. Just check in to make sure the knee is stacked over your ankle. And then let's walk the hands up to that front thigh. Sink the hips low and forward. Lift the chest. Then we're going to take a couple of movements here. So the arms are going to sweep up if this works for your body. If not, you can skip the reaching of the arms up. Then we're going to tap the fingertips back down to the mat and straighten through that left knee. So rebend into that knee. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, tap back down. And inhale to extend. Exhale to come forward. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, tap down. And inhale to extend. Exhale, rebend and pause. Take that left hand to your left thigh and open up to a twist. Feel free to let these left toes angle wider. You might be able to get more into the hip. So this next piece is progressive. Just go where it works in your body. Left arm can draw a big half circle reaching back. It may be able to reach for that back foot if you pick right foot up. And then you can stay here or work this into balance. So you would look forward, get lighter on the right hand, and then try to float that right arm up. Let's come out the way you came in. Two hands inside left foot. Now angle those left toes forward and you'll come into your lizard lunge. So taking it lower onto the forearms if this works for your body. Otherwise, you can stay on the hands. And then we'll come back up to your two palms. Tuck these back toes under, lift the knee up. And now we're going to walk towards the right side of the mat, straighten through both legs, and then adjust the feet so all 10 toes are kicked in and the heels are kicked out. So you've got your prasarita forward fold. Let's take that right hand underneath your face, left hand to the small of the back, And once again, we'll take a twist towards the left. Just like we did in that revolved triangle, you have the option to extend that left arm up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to thread the needle. So this left hand is going underneath the right one. I usually need to walk my right hand out in front of me to make space, and then see if that left hand can find somewhere along your right leg. And then release both hands out in front of you once again. So now we'll come into some side lunging. So let's start by bending into that right knee, and the hands can walk along with you, or hands can press at heart center. We're going to take a few to each side. So inhale, come to 2 straight legs, and exhale, bend left knee. Inhale, center, and exhale, right. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale, right to pause. So we're going to drop this right hand down, left hand to left hip, and once again, take a peek over that left shoulder. You can extend that left arm up. So you've got much more strength happening in that right leg. And then that left hand comes down. So from here, we're going to work on flipping those left toes up towards the ceiling and sinking the hips a little further. Take a quick moment and pause. Hands might find heart center. And then we're going to take it all the way down. So come to sit. You'll see that that left leg is long out in front of you. Let's keep these right toes facing the way that your torso is facing, off the right side of the mat. Right hand inside that right foot. Keep that shoulder pressing the knee open. And then that left hand is going to come to the outside of that left hip, and you're going to turn yourself to face forward. There's an opportunity for a bind here. If it works for you, the right arm wraps around that shin towards the back, and that left hand may be able to find the other hand. Then if you've got your bind, release it. That left leg stays long, but you can now bring that right foot forward out in front of you. Let's cross the right knee on top of the left knee. Sit up nice and tall, breath in, and then take a lean out. So forehead may rest on top of that right knee. Some of you may be able to take a hold of that left foot for a bind. And then start to rise back up. Right leg will straighten, give a little bounce and a shake, and then we'll come forward. So the hands will return to the top of the mat, and the feet step back, high plank pose. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, up face, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Inhale, hop or step feet to the top of the mat and fold on the exhale. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's find tree pose, left side. Hug that left knee in, open the hip, And let's land the foot on the inseam of right leg. Hands find heart center. Option 2, extend the arms overhead. Gaze might rise as well. Hands lower back down, extend left leg, give it a little spin, and then drop that left foot down. You can pedal the feet out. Now the top of the right foot grounds behind you. So here's where we're going to work towards that variation of bound half moon. Coming into a simple warrior 3. Take a lean out, float that right leg, and try to find a capital T shape with the body. Then the hands come down to the mat. Like we did kneeling, look for that right foot and watch that right hip stack on top of the left. So don't let that leg sweep behind you. Now to come into the bind for bound half moon, you're going to bend that knee. Here's where you could take your traditional bound half moon, where the right hand reaches around to try to find that heel, or you go for a trickier variation. Right hand stays at the hip and you unload this left hand and left hand comes to that foot. And then we'll release whatever you've got, 2 hands down, right foot meets left foot, pedal the feet out, and find a ragdoll. Sway around, move around. And then plant your palms. Take a hop back or a step back, find your high plank, and exhale, low plank. Upward face and downward facing dog. So we're going to take that warrior 1 again. So see about inching the feet closer towards the top of the mat and then making a V shape with the feet heels towards touch. Now we'll float that right leg in the air. Now the hip likes to open up here, so see if you can face the hip down, toes facing down, and that will likely get you more length on the outside of your left leg. And then a little further, bend that right knee, press the foot to the ceiling, deeper stretch for left leg. Look forward, take a big step. Once you land that right foot, keep the left heel grounded and come up to your warrior 1. Feel free again to take a self-adjustment where you try and guide left hip forward while bringing the right one back. And then into the twist. So we'll go right arm reaches back, you can stay here, or the right hand touches inside or outside that back leg. Keep lunging and keep lifting. And then come back to center. Let's take the side stretch. So interlace the palms, press them up overhead, and take a side lean over to the right. And come back to center. The hands will now interlace at the low back. Roll the shoulders down, take a breath in, and your humble warrior. Take a lean out now. Think of the crown of the head pressing to the wall out in front of you. Gaze is down. Strong legs take you upright. Arms overhead, let's find your warrior two. Back heel down. Now straighten that front leg and reverse your triangle. Right arm sweeps up and back. Left hand, just a light landing on the back leg. And then you come right back up. So let's basket the hands behind the head. Notice how you're slightly facing towards the top of the mat. And just take a little turn so you're facing a little bit back. Now take a lean out over that right leg for your variation of triangle pose. Press those elbows back. And then right back up. Let those arms go wide and then rest them at the hips. Bend into that front knee, find that warrior two, and then take it out. Side angle, right elbow down, left arm up and over. So just try to rotate your body upwards towards the ceiling. Draw your navel towards the spine. And then come back up. Hands to hips, straighten front leg. So back foot heel toed in a couple steps, and then set those toes forward, and you might heel toe that front foot wider. So you're just squaring the hips to the top of the mat. Parsvottanasana, arms go wide, and then take the elbows behind you. Breath in, lift heart. Breath out, take your fold over that right leg. Gaze is down by the big toe. Now we'll add the twist here for your revolved triangle. Left hand touches down, right hand to your hip, and you start to look over that right shoulder. If you decided to take it a step further, right arm can reach up. And then look down, bend that front knee a bit so both hands can press down. Left foot steps back for length and right foot will meet it, high plank pose. Exhale, control your descent, low plank. Upward dog, press your heart forward, and downward facing dog. Exhale. Let's take that right leg into the air once again, and then a couple of beats to stack the hip, bending the knee. And then step right foot all the way forward. Low lunge now, so you can drop that left knee down and settle in by untucking those back toes. Check in, knee over ankle, you might scooch forward if you didn't get that alignment. Hands walk up to the thigh, sink lower into the hips. And we'll take those two three-part movements. So we'll start by sweeping the arms up, and then we're going to look down, tap the fingertips, extend through that right knee, and then re-lunge into that knee. With the breath, inhale takes you up, exhale, tap down. Inhale to extend the leg, and exhale, re-lunge. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tap. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend and pause. Twisting, right hand to thigh, open up. And those right toes can veer open as well, getting into your hip. So this is one of those progressive poses. Pause where it works in your body. The right arm takes a sweep back. Could take a hold of that back heel or ankle. Lighter on that left hand, gazing forward and balancing left arm up. Release what you have into your lizard lunge. So the hands inside right foot and right toes face forward, staying on palms or dropping to the elbows. And then return to your hands. The back toes flip under, come off of that knee. And we're walking to the left this time. So finding that standing forward fold, that wide-legged forward fold. So the heels are kicking out. And this time we have that left hand under your face, right hand to the small of the back, and take your twist right. Option again to float right arm towards the ceiling. And then one of my favorite stretches, let's thread that right arm under the left. Walk the left hand out in front so you have space. Take a hold of somewhere along left leg. And then the hands come out in front of you once again. So we'll take those side lunges, starting by bending into that left knee. Hands can stay down or hands to heart center. Inhale, two straight legs. Exhale, bend right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale. Exhale, left. And here's where we'll pause for one more twist. Left hand down, right hand hip, take a look forward, and once more, right arm floats. Now right hand down. Lifting right toes, sink more into that left knee. Pause where it works in your body. And then we do come all the way down to sit. So adjust yourself if you kind of moved off the mat. But that right ankle is in line with that right hip, and the left toes are facing off the left side of the mat. Let's bring left hand inside left foot and the right hand off by that right hip and turn yourself to face forward. Just a different variation of a twisting hip opener. And if you tried to go for the bind on the first side, you start by wrapping that left arm around the shin, and the right hand may be able to reach around as well. And then release. So we will now face forward. Left toes are facing forward as well. Now let's drop to half knee to knee pose. Let's basket underneath that top knee, sit tall, breath in, and then take your lean out. So you're listening for the bottom leg and the hips to find your edge. You may be able to reach for that right ankle or foot. And then come right back up. Straighten left leg, give a shake. And let's come forward for Vinyasa. Hands plant, feet step, breath in, exhale, breath out. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Hop or step feet to the top of the mat, and exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale, Samastitihi, hands heart center. So let's come into tree pose on the right side. Hug in right knee, then allow the hip to open, land the foot somewhere along standing leg. Palms find heart center. So you just want to avoid pressing against your knee. You can go above it or below it. And the arms can rise if you'd like to take that. See if the gaze can follow. And then let's lower hands back down, kick right leg out, give it a little spin, and land it down. You can pedal. So now we'll come into that warrior three, top of left foot behind you. So you're going to lift off of that back leg, find your balance, and then lower. So working towards parallel, and then tent those fingertips down. We'll start with half moon. So the left hip stacks on top of the right one. Look for that foot, it should be in your vision. And then we'll start with the bind. So bend into that knee so the foot is facing the opposite side of the mat. Now a traditional bound half moon would be that left hand reaching up for the heel. If you'd like to take it trickier, left hand to hip, and instead that right hand comes up to find that heel. Carefully release both hands down. Left foot meets right foot, give a pedal. And then more importantly, a nice ragdoll. Release, sway, take some deep breaths. And then land those hands down. Let's take our very final vinyasa. Step back, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva mukha. Exhale, adho mukha. Breathe here. Breathe space into the backs of the legs. Breathe space into the head, neck and shoulders. Let's come forward, sit, and all the way onto your back. So it's probably going to feel really nice. Just wrap the arms around the legs and give a rock side to side. And take a hold of each of the feet. Come into a happy baby. The rocking can continue. You could also straighten into one leg at a time. And then wrap those arms around the knees once more. Let the knees quickly drop over towards the right. Gaze towards the left. And then we'll swap. Now the knees left and gaze right. And then back at center, you can give one last wrap in, curl the nose up to the knees, and then let it go. Let it go with a nice sigh out. Find a comfortable resting shape for your body. Soften through the jaw. Close the eyes. Let the hands get heavy. The feet are heavy. The head is heavy into your mat. Let go of arms and legs. Feel the movement of your breath and rest. Come back to your breath. Take a couple deeper inhales and exhales. Move around in the ankles, the wrists, the head. Stretch the arms overhead, point the toes forward. Take a long breath in and a deep exhale. Curl in, wrap those arms around the knees once more. And then take a light landing onto your right side. And come all the way up to a comfortable seated position. Palms will land at heart center, Anjali Mudra, mutual sign of gratitude, honor, and respect. Let's take one final breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Thank you so much for sharing your virtual practice. Namaste. Thanks for joining in class, everybody. Lovely having you here. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed class. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so that you are notified of my new classes. shoot me a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see in future classes. I love making interesting sequences, and getting requests really inspires me to teach my next classes. You can also follow me on Instagram up here at Tina's Yoga Room, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.